Coach, the city of Seattle, known for coffee, grunge music, and, of course, rain. And we're definitely going to get a heavy dose of the last of those three here tonight as you look inside a wet and wild CenturyLink field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they're in sync, as we're seeing so far, with that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
I'm coming up. Undercrush. Bang, bang. SOS. One flip. Alert. Watch safety green.
And to give this time to the tailback. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
50. Good job right there. I'm coming. He's checking. Crash. Good tight. Mike 56.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Right there.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now this is fielded in the end zone. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Looking to throw. Newman. Going for Evans, but that pass is intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it up, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Back to throw. Newman. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. L.J. Collier able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Now it's Lockett. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 at a 1st down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Go. Be ready.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked out and incomplete. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a 1st. This is 3rd down.
Check. Run left.
Wilson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. It's a foot race. 20, 10, and into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So back even at 6 apiece as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Quick.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Run left. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Hey, watch the slant. Alert. 54. Mike 54. Off. Bring it.
2nd and 10 now. Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. From the gun, it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Watch the back. Watch the safety creep. Check.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down, Newman. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays.
There he goes, left side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there. 68 yards. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101.
And that's caught inside the 35. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Mike Evans 82 yards. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. Now it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pickup there.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Well, from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing a no-hitter, gives up a hit late. You're so close to accomplishing everything you want and don't quite get it done. They'll come back with a vengeance on the next play.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here comes Grant on the return. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Newman. He finds his target. It's Evans. And he'll be out right at the 35. It'll go as a 1st down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16. So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the 2nd foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. Cap 2 inbounds in the NFL.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Newman airing this one out for Evans. That's caught inside the 20. A big play there for the Niners. And even 50 yards. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he's...
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. The 15-yard touchdown run. And once again, the 49ers are back out in front. Third time's the charm on the extra point as he gets this one to go. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Gotta go, in and out. Let's go. Y'all playing the wrong football. Check 91, good.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts, and still plenty of time remaining here in this 2nd quarter. The Seahawks on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. To throw is Wilson. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Getting the sack, the 227-pound linebacker, Quan Alexander.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away.
Why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Off the play fake. Newman. Airing this one out for Evans. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Well, he's been the guy already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. "21 yards. Well done on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
We remind you that coming up at the half, we'll hand things off to Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have scores from earlier today, plus a look ahead as well, so you won't want to miss that. A lot going on here in Week 1. And a big one across here as he's taken down. DeForest Buckner, his second sack of the night.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
57's the Mike. Rock 57. Rabbit. Go. 57. Mike, 57.
From the shotgun, Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a big play there for Seattle. 44 yards. From the gun, Wilson.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great, let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Let's go. Good guys, 4 down. Shit. Hey, 0. Watch. Watch the screen.
To throw again, Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Mike 57. You remember me? Check.
To throw is Wilson on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And contact defensively. And that might make things 5 yards easier. So that'll move them up 5, make the kick a little easier.
Rarely do you get kickers that don't want some yardage closer to the post, right? It's rare, but in this case, he'll definitely take them.
So on 4th down, here's Jason Myers for the Seahawk field goal. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Spins away. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Airing this one out for Evans. Going for Evans, but that pass is intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
So we've reached halftime here in our initial Sunday night telecast of the new season. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he's taken down inside the 30. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Off play action. Newman. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Jadeveon Clowney able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Third down. 3rd and long.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
Off the play fake. Newman. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you have to have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
And he'll give it here to his running back.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And an alley to run. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A great effort there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead is down to 2. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll run with Coleman on first down. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. On second down, it's Coleman. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Deep ball for Goodwin. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against him offensively. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
One left. Check the back shot. 91 is the mic. Let's go.
This time Wilson will throw. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hawkinson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. A gain of 8 and a first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Mike 54. Go. You got it, son. 36 power.
On first down, Wilson going for Metcalf. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf, 33 yards. And the Seahawks have once again taken the lead. And Charles, the defender, was there. He just didn't get it.
Sometimes these plays turn into basketball in a sense, with two guys going up for the football. Which guy's going to box the other away from it and grab it?
Yeah, I know you hear it a lot, but it's just the will to get it, right?
Oh, without a doubt. The will, as well as some really nice touch on the ball that was thrown.
And some talent, too. Myers connects on the PAT. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will take this one all the way back inside the 35-yard line.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
They'll run on first down. Coleman. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Back to throw. Newman. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Goodwin, 46 yards, as his guys are able to regain the lead. They'll try and run it in with Coleman. And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they've upped their lead to 3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. Now Wilson on first down. And his throw here's incomplete. David Moore, the intended target, but it'll be second down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting him off. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
14.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Seahawks on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. Wilson from the gun, he'll throw. He's got Lockett. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down.
Chase, 0-0-0. Tempo.
They run the counter. Carson. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
Alert. Zebra. Easy. Watch twins.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4.
This has been an up-and-down, back-and-forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And now they have taken a 4th quarter lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will make this a 4-point game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Looking to throw. Newman eluding the pressure, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Give the sack to Aaron Lynch, the former USF Bull. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
I got trip this side, trip this side. We got three, we got three.
So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. Newman. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Here to his running back. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, this from 46. And this one is right down the middle. And that'll make this a 7-point game. Now from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
On first down, it's Coleman. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Right back to Coleman here on first down. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. He'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And he's in for the touchdown with the clock reading 000. And the extra point, if they hit it, will send this thing to overtime. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. Now a first throw here in overtime. Flush to his right. Airing this one out for Evans. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, when you got a guy over 150 yards, keep chucking it deep to him, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can get it to him short, and he can make plays that way, but I like what you just said. Throw it to him deep and get it in a big chunk.
But incomplete on, and that's caught inside the 30. A huge play there in overtime. 53 yards. Sometimes the one-handed catches are unnecessary, but he was trying to ward off the defender with the other, so maybe that was just a good play.
So that tells you that not only do they imagine those types of catches, they actually work on them with defenders jostling them in order to keep their concentration and haul it in.
A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. 2nd and long. Completes it to Coleman. Oh, and now some space to operate. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. He's padding his already great numbers here in overtime. More importantly, though, moving his guys downfield.
And I think that's exactly what's going through his head right now. Moving them downfield, putting them in a position to win the game. The stats, that's for the fantasy guys. I know they're enjoying that show.
A first carry now for Kofrani Muhammad. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
And all the way down to the 36-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Check 99. Good. Hold up. Hey, let's go.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. They've had some success here in overtime on this opening drive running the football right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you. And until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there and available to them.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now what can Wilson do here in the OT? It's complete to Lockett. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll toss it out to Carson. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
This one into the hands of Metcalf. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They wanted to avoid the dreaded 4th down and having to get a conversion or it being the final play. They picked it up, though, on 3rd.
I love how you described that because we've been in those situations and seen it. If you get to 4th down, especially in overtime, things get a little shakier, don't they?
And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Seahawks, they needed overtime to do it, but they get the Week 1 victory thanks to the field goal. And they'll get another home date next week as the Saints will come to town. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs, stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die.